There's a bunch of immigrants coming through my property. I do not condone this. I've asked the Border Patrol to stop it. I just have to allow them to go through my property. Where are you from?
Turkey.
This is video shot by Brian Silvas, whose property is up against the U.S.-Mexico border in eastern San Diego County, California. He bought the land 2 years ago, but in the last 6 months, he's been dealing with a surge of people passing through his backyard.
Follow the road that way, all the way. Look for the lights. You'll see the lights. Most of them are men. They're all Turkish, Kurdish,
Right now,
Chinese, everything, the whole gamut.
Title 42, a public health measure invoked during the pandemic that had allowed authorities to turn away migrants at the border, expired in May. Critics say it is now easier for immigrants to enter the U.S. The San Diego Sector Border Patrol has reported over 230,000 encounters during the fiscal year that ended in September, a level of activity not seen in more than 20 years. Silvas wanted to show me where he believes the migrants are crossing the border into his property. As soon as we arrived, we encountered about a dozen walking right in.
It's a pretty simple cross over into the U.S. And like that family, it's not that hard. They just step in and they're here.
So this is the original, I guess, 19-something border.
This right here.
Uh-huh. And Border Patrol probably comes and does it, but look, I mean, it's an open door. You could go right through there. They usually just walk through. They don't care if I'm there. They walk through and ask me which way. I'm like, go that way. Keep going.
But you can't tell them.
No, they told me I couldn't tell them to go back.
Can you tell them to get off your property?
Actually, they pretty basically told me no. I just got to let them come through. The sheriff.
We reached out to the San Diego County Sheriff's Department for comment, and they told me they sympathize with residents like Silvas, but they say there are hundreds of people seeking asylum who have been asked to remain in place by Customs and Border Protection, and they point to a California law that since 2018 has largely prohibited state and local law enforcement from assisting in enforcement of federal immigration laws. The department also said citing individuals for trespassing could scatter asylum seekers across local communities and complicate CBP efforts. Just an hour after we left Silvas' property, a wildlife camera we had set up at the location captured another group of migrants, much larger than the last, entering the U.S.
Everyday fires,
And all
day
night,
and night.
the dog clouds, the fighting there.
Silvas introduced us to Jerry Schuster and his wife Maria. They live about 5 miles down the road and are dealing with a migrant situation of their own.
They come the right way. They can come through the front door. Okay?
That's how we
But
came.
this is
You're
private.
immigrants.
Yes, yeah, I'm from Yugoslavia actually. And I'll wait for my turn. I was in Austria 8 months. I'll wait for my turn, got my papers, got on a plane, pay my way out, pay my way in.
From Yugoslavia. Yes. And Maria,
I'm from Mexico.
you're from Mexico.
I think the government should do something to stop this illegal immigration. To stop it. Because they don't help us. They're destroying us. They destroy our property and they're destroying our countries and our cities.
Schuster moved here 40 years ago. His house is up a small hill looking out onto Mexico. His backyard is now a campground for migrants awaiting pickup from Border Patrol.
If I would have gone back a year, maybe 2 years, what did this look like?
Well, there was a lot of trees here, and there was no trash. You know, just a regular desert with the trees. Right now, we don't have that.
Well, where are the trees?
They're all gone. They chop them up and they put them on the fire and keep themselves warm, just like you see it right there. Yeah. This is where they walk through.
And that's Mexico.
That's Mexico right there.
I mean, the barbed wire ends there, but they could have.
That doesn't serve no purpose at all. And what they do, they just get the wire cutters and cut it off.
And you, Jerry, would want to see this continue all the way down.
All the way to that hill right there.
Yeah.
Just 150 feet more, they would avoid all these problems right here.
A senior CBP official tells us that it's up to local law enforcement to enforce trespassing on private property, and that Border Patrol agents cannot physically block people from crossing into the country, nor send them immediately back across the border. They can only take them into custody and process them accordingly.